Speaking of WrestleMania, Diamond Buddy, let's go ahead and let's give some early match predictions, man. I mean, the way this is looking right now, it's safe to say that WrestleMania 29, it's in the books. We got the matches. Let's go ahead and run right down it, buddy. I know one of the matches we're going to be seeing is Wade Barrett taking on The Miz for the Intercontinental Championship. How you see this one playing out?
Yawn. Aside from that, I mean, I feel like I've seen this match 13 times.
And we have.
And hopefully it'll be like on the YouTube special or something like that, and I can, skip it.
Nah, buddy, it's official. It's on the actual card.
Yeah, so, I don't know.
No YouTube.
The Miz winning with a very bad-looking figure 4. How can you screw up the figure 4? You know what I mean? It's like screwing up the DDT or something. I mean, how can you screw up the figure 4? He just looks completely awkward doing the figure 4.
He really does. Okay, this goes here, and I think this goes here, and yeah, that should do it. Yeah. I'm going with the Miz, and I do believe he's going to win in that type of fashion, as you said. I would expect it to be I expect it to be a fast-paced type of match. Maybe a lot of brawling. I'm expecting a lot of striking in this match. But yeah, I see Miz becoming the new Intercontinental Champion. All right, Chris Jericho is going to be taking on Fandango. Usually when Chris Jericho has a match at WrestleMania, shortly afterwards, he rolls out. But this is Chris Jericho we're talking about. This man's become unpredictable now, so let's not even talk about, is Jericho going to be leaving the night after WrestleMania? Let's just deal with the match as it is. Jericho Fandango. How you see this playing out as it'll be Fandango's wrestling debut match?
Yeah, well, I like the Fandango character. I'm predicting him to win.
Fandango, WrestleMania debut. They've been hyping him up this long. Honestly, from a booking standpoint, folks, it makes no sense for Chris Jericho to pick up a win over someone they're trying to dub as up and coming. Fandango needs to rub off from Jericho. I think it would do huge wonders for him, and I will go on record and say I expect for this match to be one of the show stealers of the night. I think there's a reason why we haven't seen this young man wrestle yet under this gimmick. We may be a little bit familiar with what he did as Johnny Curtis, but maybe there's been some drastic improvement since then. And I think it's those ingredients combined with what we've been seeing from him in recent weeks. Yeah, Fandango's going to go over in true heel-like fashion. Hopefully he throws the insult to injury and he gets his dance partner and he dances over Chris Jericho's corpse. I mean, when I saw him do that on Raw this past Monday, I couldn't help but not think about Street Fighter and how after Vega would get done kicking your ass, he would throw roses out there at you. And then the other character, I can't think of his name, I think it was the Mike Tyson-looking brother. I think he used to bust out some salsa shakers or something like that after he got done beating your ass. So, yeah, Fandango for the win. All right, Team Hell Knows, Kane and Daniel Bryan. They're going to be taking on Dolph Ziggler and Big E Langston for WWE Tag Titles. If there was ever a time where the tag titles are in jeopardy, it is with this combination. How you see this going down?
Yeah, I see them picking up the tag team titles.
Kane and Daniel Bryan really feel as though they've run their course.
Yeah, a few months ago.
Yeah, at least by 2-3. Yeah, I mean, God, they used to be one of the best highlights for what could be a bad Raw. I mean, I literally used to talk to people that earlier in the months, they would watch Raw just to see what the hell Kane and Daniel Bryan were going to do, as it seemed like they were on a hot streak of topping whatever they did comedy skit-wise the week before. And, yeah, they've been really running very cold. I definitely think it's time to see these guys break up, go back to singles competition. Kane, he's been there, done that. I'm more interested in Daniel Bryan continuing on a very successful singles career. Yeah, Dolph Ziggler or Big E Langston, I'd like to see them become the new tag champions. Let's put it out there right now as I think we should go to the next match that will come later on. Alberto Del Rio taking on Jack Swagger for the World Heavyweight Championship. We know we got to put it out there. Two-part question. Who wins in that match? And do we see Dolph Ziggler try to cash in the Money in the Bank briefcase?
I have Del Rio retaining, no cash-in. Maybe an attempt, but he'll change his mind.
I'm on the fence on this one.
They made it a point last night to mention that he has until July to cash in.
Thank you for pointing that out. Wow, I didn't even hear that.
He has not been doing that, yeah.
Wow. So he has until July.
Right.
Sounds like they did a little bit of a rollover from that match he won. What was that? Against John Cena. Was that at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view? Which one was that?
When he got the Money in the Bank.
What was the pay-per-view that he just took on Cena for the briefcase? I want to say No Way Out.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
You know, somewhere around there. So yeah, basically it sounds like he's gotten an extra couple of months. Sounds like basically an extension because it should have run out a little bit sooner than that. Well, if that's the case...
I thought it was running out in June.
Right. Well, I thought sooner than that. I was thinking May. Damn. That's huge. Okay, well, if that's the case, now that they put that out there, yeah, I don't see a cash-in then. I don't see a cash-in. I see an attempt.
What are we going to do after WrestleMania is over with? You know? This is going to be a major storyline. I'm thinking the major storyline would be whether he's going to have two titles.
You would think that would be the route they would go. I mean, I think that would just be freaking awesome. I mean, we haven't seen it happen in WWE in a long time. You know?
Maybe Shawn Michaels might be the last person that I can think of that was like that.
Might be more recent than that. I gotta take a day to think about it, but I think it was a little bit more recent than that. Who'd you say you see with that? You see Swagger?
No, I see Del Rio retaining. I think it's going to be cashed in on Del Rio, but I just don't think it's going to be cashed in WrestleMania.
I'll match you. I see Del Rio. They're really trying to get him over as one of the top baby faces. And I'm sorry, but his struggling, slapping on the arm, telling the person to get up, you know, it's like he's just forcing it, you know, so hard to try to get the fans to root him on. Love that Ricardo Rodriguez, though. Man, is he a screamer. Yeah, I'll go with Alberto Del Rio for the win. All right, let's talk about Ryback taking on Mark Henry. Man, two Bisons just getting it on. We heard a little bit of rumblings that Mark Henry was injured at a WWE live event over the weekend as he injured his knee. But Diamond, from what we kind of saw there on Raw, looked like, you know, I didn't see any limping or anything. I think he's okay. Maybe it was just a little sore. But in either case...
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, Ryback, Henry. How you see this going down?
It's really difficult to just call the winner, but I think it's going to be Ryback.
If I'm booking this, Ryback. Ryback needs this because there was those, 2-3 months, including an episode of Raw, that he came short with the winning the WWE title. So... you know, you gotta have him come out on top. You know, some people will kind of look at those losses. Some may argue, well, it doesn't count because he never was pinned. He didn't submit. But if you're smart and you just say, you know, fuck that bullshit. Come on, let's be for real. He's lost. he needs this win. So, yeah, I'd like to see Ryback go over Mark Henry. And I'm a huge Mark Henry fan, but, you know, when I hear, oh, my God, Mark Henry kind of had a little bit of a small incident with an injury at a house show, I'm a little bit kind of prone right now. I'm, like, using caution because he's right next to Rey Mysterio as far as those daggone knee injuries and all that other good stuff goes. So I'm going with Ryback. Sheamus, Randy Orton, Big Show. It's official. They announced it, I believe, yesterday. They're going to be taking on the Shields, Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, 6-man tag match. Who you got?
I got Randy Orton turning heel.
You got him abandoning his partners?
Yeah. I think they're putting the focus on Big Show. Randy is kind of laying in the weeds, if you will. So, you know, I got him turning heel. And I also have the Shield winning this.
Shield need this. I mean, they've been on a freaking roll. I love the guys. I mean, man, just everything about them. I mean, just their unique entrance. Is, kind of borrowing a few elements from the Sandman, but I love it nonetheless. They need this. They need this win, hands down. I mean, you got to keep the momentum going for them. They're not stale yet. Everybody still, loves them. They think they're one of the hottest things that's happening for the company right now, and I love the way WWE has been smart in utilizing them. If I'm not mistaken, and I got to do a little homework, but if I'm not mistaken, they're pretty close to surpassing the length that we got to see Nexus. So for this one, yeah, I'm going with the Shield for the win. See what matches we got left. Let's go right into it. Triple H, Brock Lesnar, no holds barred. Triple H loses. That's it for his wrestling career, as Triple H had pointed out on Raw. So now we have the clarification, which was something that we were talking about last week, Diamond. Is like, what exactly is on the line? Now we know it is wrestling career. How you see this going down?
I see Triple H losing and doing some kind of retirement speech on Raw. And, of course, eventually coming back to wrestle.
Man, so you got Brock Lesnar 2-0 over Triple H.
Yeah.
I think I see where you're going with this. You're trying to have Brock Lesnar look strong.
Not fair, even. Yeah, but Brock Lesnar's strong.
Right. You're trying to you're looking at this from the standpoint of Brock Lesnar looking strong, leading into a future program with The Rock potentially at next year's WrestleMania.
That's absolutely what happened.
Man, this is a tough one for me because on the one hand, I just am keeping in my mind that this is Triple H. This is the guy that usually, okay, for all this money that we're giving you, you got to bow down to the king. There's that standpoint. But then there's what you just said. I hate to do this, but as I think you're right, but I don't know. Spider sense is tingling. I'm going with Triple H. I got to go with Triple H. I mean, the honor, the pride, there's a lot of stuff on the line right here. I would expect Stephanie, Vince McMahon, I expect them making some type of cameos to try to pump up Triple H. Still hearing a little bit of rumblings that Shawn Michaels might try to make a little cameo too. New Age Outlaws, Billy Gunn, Road Dogg, they got destroyed by this guy. I got to go with Triple H for the redemption. But look for Lesnar to do something post-match. I think after Triple H gets, an explosive victory over a bloodied Brock Lesnar, I think Triple H may end up in a situation where maybe he's going to be celebrating a little bit too long and Lesnar could just destroy him right there. And as a result of that, we don't see Triple H for several weeks, or that could be something that happens on Raw the following night. Triple H comes out, tries to give a little victory speech, and, maybe we see Brock Lesnar crash the party, take him out for a couple of months. That way you have Lesnar still look strong, and how surprising it would be to have it go down the same night that we could probably get The Rock in the arena. There's your little brush off right there. You can have the two finally cross paths for the first time. Undertaker versus CM Punk is the streak versus the best in the world. I'll still give him that title, even though it belongs to Chris Jericho. How you got that match?
It depends. Like how you say with Rock and Triple H.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think that the winners and the losers of these matches, these two specifically, are going to reflect each other. Because if the Undertaker wins, then that means Brock Lesnar's going to win. But if, they're not going to have the face and face go over in these two matches, the heel and heel. It's going to be one or the other in each, whichever match it is. This is one of the major, this is one of the major drawing matches. So based on the story that they're telling, the Undertaker wins. Mm-hmm. And if the Undertaker wins, then Brock Lesnar has to win. I mean, I just don't think that they're going to have Brock Lesnar foiled, CM Punk foiled. There has to be, with WWE, there's some type of a balance. And I believe now that CM Punk is injured, he wants to take some time off. Mm-hmm. In order to do that, he's going to lose. Mm-hmm. And even though I think he should be the one to end the streak, but I think that he's going to lose. That's how I feel about that. But I think that this is going to be a really good match as matches go.
I agree with you 100%. I think honestly, folks, if it was a case where CM Punk is 100% and he's rejuvenated and all that, I could actually see. I would actually go on record and say he's going to get the win over Undertaker. But as Diamond, as you pointed out, he's too banged up. That 400+ days being out on the road. I mean, we haven't seen a workhorse like him in quite some time as far as the WWE champion goes. He needs some much needed rest. And WWE, they realized they got a lifer in CM Punk if they treat him right. And unfortunately, as sad as it may be, yeah, he's going to lose to Taker. You might be onto something there with Brock Lesnar. I kind of see what you're saying. There has to be some type of a shock value, and there couldn't possibly be that many faces going over at WrestleMania. Which brings us to the last match. The Rock taking on John Cena for the WWE Championship.
Well, this match, I've gone back and forth about it, but the events of last night told me the winner. And the winner is going to be John Cena. John Cena was left laying at after receiving the rock bottom. Mm-hmm. He attempted to do his move. The closing moments were the Rock being triumphant. That told me that Cena was going to win.
Yeah. Usually when you see somebody get buried like that, 9 times out of 10, they got the win coming to them. If you've been watching WWE long enough, you're just able to call it like that. I can see that happening. Let's put that $1 million question out there, though, because you just touched on something a few seconds ago. You said how we can't see all these baby faces go over, but is that the match that you want to have people be talking about? Look, we already got a lot of people that's complaining about this card. Now, let's just get this little ridiculous little, it's a bunch of It's a bunch of rematches. Let's just get that crap out the way right now. This is going to be the very first time that Brock Lesnar and Triple H are going to be going head-to-head at WrestleMania. Is it a follow-up to what they did at SummerSlam? Yes. But this match, respectively, it has a gimmick match. There's a stipulation put to it. It's the first time that these two guys are colliding at WrestleMania. Okay, so that's technically a new match in itself. We're looking at The Rock versus Cena. Okay, yes, that is a WrestleMania rematch from last year. But, Diamond, does that particular match have enough potential to give fans an experience where they say to themselves, this was better than last year, minus a possible heel turn into John Cena?
Well, I think that the way that they framed the story, with, going back and mentioning some details about the past and, saying that he thought that The Rock was just going to leave off into the sunset and he has this newfound respect for him and these type of things, I think that all of that is great, and I think it plays into to give us more of a backstory for this match. With that being said, I don't have any problem with a rematch. I don't have any problem with this at all, and wrestling fans should not have a problem with it. If you look at the great feuds over the years, we saw Dusty Rhodes and Ric Flair wrestle numerous times, Starrcade, Clash of the Champions, whatever the event, Sting and Flair, The Rock and Triple H, The Rock and Stone Cold.
And The Rock and Stone Cold. Yeah, and The Rock and Stone Cold alone, they did meet 3 times. Might have not been consecutively, but they met 3 times at WrestleMania.
Yeah. Yeah,
with Stone Cold going over twice.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, when people say that, I think that part of the biggest problem is the WWE taking the approach for the wrestlers to say, we're here to please you, the fans, and, it's sometimes you can take it too far, and then the fans are just sitting back with their arms folded saying, okay, entertain me. And then when it's at that point, that's too much. Give us a great story, give us a great athleticism, and it's fine. And as long as the context of the story makes sense and it doesn't seem forced for us to have a rematch, then it makes sense. But, if you have 2 arch rivals, it's like Muhammad Ali fighting Joe Frazier. Yeah, okay, it's a rematch, but we want to see it, and it makes sense. So,
right. And see, this is the thing. You're never, the thing that I've noticed when it comes to doing radio, for example, you can't please everybody. There's always going to be those people, I don't like this, because, or, they're going on too long about a subject, or, you can't please everybody, and I know there's...
Or they didn't talk about a subject long enough.
Exactly. I know there's some wrestling fans out there that will sit up and say, oh my God, this is just redundant, the matches that they're giving us, or you got to look at the bigger picture, and we've said this time and time again. It's all about what sells, and on top of that, man, The Rock is back. You know what I'm saying? It's like, who else could The Rock be taking on right now? Unfortunately, they aren't ready for the Brock Lesnar. They want to do that next year. Right now, they want it to be about The Rock and Cena too. And, with The Rock being back more times than what he did in the previous 2 years, I told you guys once, I'll tell you guys again, enjoy this ride for what it's worth, because when The Rock hangs up his boots for good, those of you that are sitting up and complaining about The Rock, always going off to Hollywood, where's The Rock? You do your little 20-minute videos bitching about The Rock not being on Raw for 2 weeks, but then you get giddy like a schoolgirl when you see him pop up the next week. You know, you guys are going to be the same ones that's going to be crying as you're eating a big fat bowl of Fruity Pebbles saying, Rock, come back. When you coming back to the WWE? You know, so, I mean, I'm excited. I'm genuinely excited to see The Rock, John Cena 2. I'm expecting this encounter to be better than the first. You know, minus the weak Wade Barrett versus The Miz, you got a pretty damn good card. I mean, we got Big E Langston, Fandango making their WrestleMania matches debut. Ryback's having his first WrestleMania. The Shield having their first WrestleMania. We got CM Punk, Undertaker. You know, the undercard alone, you know, it's actually pretty damn decent. You know, I actually like it on paper.
I agree.
Yeah, on paper, the card looks pretty damn good, minus Wade Barrett versus The Miz. And I will go on record and say this. You may feel differently. Well, actually, no, I think you may agree with me on this. With regards to that match, honestly, I think we should be seeing the United States champion, Antonio Cesaro. I mean, hopefully he's going to be on a pre-show. If not, I think it's a freaking travesty that he's not going to make an appearance at Mania.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. I think that he's going to be on the pre-show.
Yeah, because the rumblings that we're hearing right now is AJ Lee could be taking on Caitlyn for the Divas title.
Yeah. I think they're going in that direction.
Yeah, I pray to God that is a YouTube pre-show, and maybe Antonio Cesaro will be in a impromptu match for the United States title. Who knows? If Santino Marella is 100%, maybe we can actually see him return at Mania to challenge Cesaro for the U.S. title, come up short. But I need to see Cesaro at Mania. I mean, you got all this injection of new blood on this card, you know, up-and-coming guys at that. Yeah, you got to have Cesaro in there. Let's just put it out there. AJ Lee, we don't even need to go all in depth. AJ Lee, Caitlyn, if it does go down for the Divas title, how you see that going down?
AJ Lee. Give them all the titles, or a bunch of titles.
Hands down, AJ Lee.
Title, tag team,
yeah. Hands down, AJ Lee. I'm sorry, I'm tired of Caitlyn. You know, one user, I believe it was, it was our good Twitter buddy and listener, longtime listener, Ursula, sweetheart too. She usually hooks us up with WWE Raw results whenever she goes to the events. She noticed, she said, you know, past several weeks we've seen Caitlyn. There hasn't been a Divas title. What, like, since she's become the champion, have they, like, terminated the title? What the hell's going on?
I mean, I don't know. I was thinking. I drew a blank. I don't know.
She hasn't done a damn thing with it, honestly. She hasn't. You know, I'm enjoying I never thought I'd say this. I'm enjoying the Bella Twins more than the WWE Divas Champion. I mean, that says a lot. So, yeah, that title needs to come off of her. AJ, at least she can work a crowd. I mean, she gets the people, you know.
Definitely.
She gets them talking, you know, cute little,
Definitely.
you know, little thing, and, you know, I'd break her. I'm sorry. She's a cute little thing, but I like my women to have, you know, some hips and some and all that good stuff. But yeah, on card, this WrestleMania looks like it's going to be pretty damn good, and those are your match predictions from us for WrestleMania 29.